Hello dear friends, welcome to our program for Science Third Prep Stage. We have another important session about what? About revision unit 3 and 4. Concentrate with us very well. You have many questions, you have many things to revise with us. Let's start our session today. Concentrate with me very well. Now we have an exercise about what? About unit 4. So, unit 3 and 4 is very important. The first part here, we have unit 4. Let's go to see. Do you know the names of the glands here to make up the endocrine system? It's very easy. If you study it very well, so you make these glands in a right way. So here this is thyroid gland. Thyroid gland, it's found where part or which part here? Here, this is what? This is thyroid gland that found here. Very good. Why? Because this thyroid gland, it's found near from our what? Our larynx. The other one, we have adrenal gland. Adrenal gland, it's found above the kidneys. So, this one is adrenal gland here or here. Why? Because it's found here in over the kidney and produce adrenaline hormone. And here we have pancreas. It is very easy to know this. Pancreas, we studied before in digestive system. To what? To produce some kind of hormone that called insulin that makes controlling of sugar in diabetes. So the tests, another one, we have tests here. Tests is found in human. Which part or which one of the human? It's man. So the tests, it's what? Male part or male reproductive system, a part of male reproductive system. So here, this is pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, which one of them? We have two here. Which one of them? Here or here? Here, mister. No, it's not here. We have what? We have pituitary gland is found behind or below the brain. So this is the brain here and it's found in this part. It's very small one. And it is very important one to control all the function of all glands. So it is the master of glands. The last one is ovary. If I don't know this one, so we have one of them. So that's the name. What is the name of a special type of chemicals that are released by the endocrine glands? So this one is called what? Is called hormones. Let's go to see another one. We have this, the endocrine, which endocrine gland produces which hormone? So pituitary gland, it's what? Which one here? Insulin. We have pituitary gland, we have thyroid gland, we have pancreas, adrenal gland, ovaries and testes. So the insulin, which part of them? Insulin, it's about what? About pancreas. Excellent, very good. We have next estrogen. Estrogen, it's one of the important hormones in female to make what? To make many function in or during what? During laboring babies or during pregnancy. So here this is the estrogen. It's found in ovaries. Excellent. After that we have next one. So thyroxine. Thyroxine gland. It's found or thyroxine hormone. It's found in thyroid gland. It is very easy to know the difference here because we have similar words here. After that we have here we have next one, progesterone. It's found in what? It's found in also in ovaries, right? Very good. So the ovary, it has two hormones, yes, progesterone and estrogen. After that, estrogen, it's what? It is by ovaries also. Next one, we have glucagon. Glucagon, it is one of the hormones that control the glucose sugar. Or sugar, it's what? It is by pancreas. Another one, it's very good to know this. And we have antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic hormone, it means what? It means adrenal gland. It is wrong. Thyroid gland is wrong. We have pituitary gland. Excellent. Because what? Because this one, it makes the controlling or all function of the hormones and the glands here. Next one, insulin. It's found in pancreas. Next one, luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone, it's found in pituitary gland. Excellent. And we have another one, thyroxine, it is thyroid gland. So here, this is what? This is about all parts of glands here and all types of hormone that produced by this gland. Let's go to see another exercise about this part. We have the liver here, that's pancreas work together. Liver and pancreas to regulate the level of blood glucose, to regulate the level of blood sugar. Do you know how these organs work when blood glucose is too low or too high? Let's go to see. Blood sugar is too high. So here, this one, it is like this. We have here high blood glucose. It's pancreas. So which one of these hormones that produced by pancreas here? If I have high blood glucose, this is called insulin. Excellent. After that, we have glucose. This glucose is found in blood, so it is very high one. So the insulin here, it makes the glucose decreases into what? Into glucagon. So the glucose here, or glycogen, here we have glycogen here, that's found here, and or glycogen is found in the last part here. So we have glucagon here, it's hormone. So the hormone that found inside what? Inside the liver and pancreas. So we have, this is controlling of decreases of blood glucose level. Let's go to see another part. We have blood glucose too low. So the glucose is very low in its level. So this one like this. We have the low blood glucose. We have what? We have glucagon hormone that found from pancreas or secreted by pancreas to change glucose or make it high. So it change into glycogen. Mix to glycogen here by glucagon hormone. And we have the insulin here that makes what? That makes this one. And we have the glucose or glycogen, it's found in the liver here. So here we have this one, it's glucagon hormone that makes glucose changed by insulin. Also we have the glycogen one and the change into what? Into glycogen and stored inside the liver. After that, how hot your knowledge about hormones? Let's start this one. What are the hormones also known as? What are hormones also known as? Chemical reaction, or chemical changes, or chemical messages, or messengers, or chemical energy. This is what? This is messengers. Excellent. Why? Because the definition of hormone, it's what? It's the messages, okay, or chemical messages that found or that secreted by endocrine gland. Let's go to see another one of this question. Multiple choice, it's very easy. Which body system is involved through production of hormones? Nervous system, or circulatory system, or endocrine system, or digestive system. Each one of these systems, it contains one of these glands, but the whole system is called endocrine gland or endocrine system. Excellent. Next one. Which of endocrine gland produce the hormones insulin and glucagon? It makes what? It makes this one. Or endocrine gland produce the hormones insulin and glucagon. It's make what? Which one of them? Insulin and glucagon. Number one, or letter A, thyroid gland. Letter B, pituitary gland. Letter C, pancreas. Letter D, adrenal gland. Insulin and glucagon, it's pancreas. Excellent. Why? Because it's this one, or this endocrine gland that called pancreas. It's responsible for controlling the level of sugar or level of glucose. So here, this is glucagon comes out from glucose. It is the key word of our question. Let's go to see another one. Number 4. Which hormone do the ovaries produce? Letter A, insulin and glucagon. Estrogen and adrenaline. Estrogen and progesterone. Testosterone and progesterone. Which one of them? Testosterone is wrong. Why? Because testosterone comes out from testis glands, okay, that found in human man or male. So the ovaries here, it's in female. So here this is estrogen and the progesterone. Very good. So next one. which of endocrine glands sometimes called the master gland or the leader of this system? Pituitary gland or thyroid gland, or we have adrenal gland or pancreas? It's very easy to know this. We have pituitary gland, it's the master gland. Let's go to see another one. Next one, number 6. Adrenaline is produced by adrenal gland. What is the hormone also known as? Right and or fright, or letter B, night or day, or letter C, fight and flight, or stun and run? Which one of them? Right and fright or fight and flight? It's what? It's la fight and flight. Why? Because this adrenal gland, it has what? It has a function to make us very active during a fight. So fight and frightness from anyone, from anything, from any accident, from anything danger. So it's what? It is flight and fight. So this called the hormone of adrenal gland, or that called adrenaline hormone. Let's go to see another one. Which organ takes hormone from the blood when they are no longer needed by the body? Which one that takes what? That takes hormones from blood, or move it from blood when you longer needed by what? It is no longer needed by the body. We have the hormones here. Which part? Brain or intestines or intestines, and we have the stomach or liver. So here we have liver. Excellent. Why? Because the liver, it takes the part of this hormone and keep it inside, because this hormone, if I don't need them, they will change into poison or toxic material. So the liver absorbs them away from the blood. Let's go to see another one. Which part of the body involved and controlling the amount of glucose in blood? Brain, pancreas and liver. Letter B, brain, pancreas and lungs. Letter C, pancreas, liver and lungs. Letter D, brain, liver and ovaries. So we have here a common factor between 3 parts. Which 3 parts that make this controlling of glucose? We have brain, pancreas and liver. Excellent. Why? Because pancreas produce insulin and it stores the most of glucose in form of glycogen into liver. So this one, we have this part about glycogen. Let's go to see number 9. Pancreas makes glucagon when there is not enough glucose in blood. What does the hormone tell the liver to do? Here we have the pancreas makes glucagon hormone when there not enough glucose. Where not enough glucose, so we have low level of glucose in blood. Change glucose into glycogen, or change glycogen into glucose, or change glucagon into glycogen, or change glucagon into glucose. So letter C is right. Yes. Why? Because we have glycogen. Change it into glucose. Because glycogen, it means what? It means the material that is stored in liver into glucose. Change into simple form of sugar to move in blood and make activity again. So the changing here between glycogen and glucose. Glycogen is found in the liver, glucose is found in the blood to make activity. The last one, we have number 10. Diabetic cannot control their blood glucose level because their pancreas doesn't produce enough of which hormone? Adrenaline hormone. Letter B, testosterone hormone. Letter C, glucagon hormone. Letter D, insulin. If I erase 2 of them, it is adrenaline and testosterone. They are wrong. Why? Because adrenaline from adrenal gland in fight and flight, and testosterone is responsible for growing of male reproductive system. And here we talk about diabetic. Diabetic, it means glucose level in sugar, glucose level in blood, glycogen level in the liver. So here we have glucagon or insulin. Which one of them that makes the produce enough hormone? Which hormone to make what? To make control the blood glucose level, because their pancreas doesn't produce what? Doesn't produce insulin. Excellent. Very, very well. Here we have another one. What should diabetic avoid eating a lot of? A lot of what? To help control their conditions. Carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins. Diabetic. Avoid what? Avoid which one of them? It's very clear to us it's carbohydrate. So we have another one. When should the person which diabetes inject themselves with insulin? Inject themselves with insulin. What should the person that make? Every morning, during meal, after meal, before meal. So it is what? It is before meal in most one? No, it's wrong. After meal here, it's right. Why? Because it takes some amount of carbohydrates or some amount of food that's very dangerous for what? For his blood, to increase the blood level, sugar. So here, after one meal, and well done for this question. So this one, or this type of these videos, okay, we have many things that happened what? That happened in hormonal system in our bodies. So here this is our body, and it has many parts, and we have many function in our system. So here this is the messages that found here or that moves here like this from part to another to make some kind of function in our system, like muscles, like contraction, like interaction in the respiration and moving our muscles to make what? To make many function in our body. So here this is hormones, and this is red blood cells that move in our body to make us make some kind of function. This is pituitary gland that found inside our head below the brain to make controlling or to make messages to all parts of the body, to make the blood move with hormones of all parts of the body to make this function. This is electric signal that move to all parts of the body, such as what? Such as adrenal gland, such as pancreatic gland, such as we have many glands that found in endocrine system to make what? To make them move or produce some kind of hormones that's found as green color here. So these hormones, it makes what? It makes moving from the gland to another part here. So the glands here, it makes some kind of enzymes to make some kind of function inside our body, inside respiratory system, inside digestive system, to move away some things like what here? Like frightness. If I have the hormone or adrenal gland that produce some kind of hormone here to make frightness like this and they make the hair stand up like this. So the hair, it makes this motion due to some kind of hormone that called adrenal gland that move out. And we have this sweat that makes what? That makes decreasing of what? Decreasing of temperature of our body. And we have the endocrine gland. It is very, very closed system, very important system to increase the lungs. For example, here we have the alveoli inside the lungs to make function of respiration here. So the respiration, it's very important for us. Which thing that control this respiration without controlling of us? We have the endocrine gland. It's the muscles to contract and relax that makes what? That makes some kind of this function. We have many types of these endocrine glands that found in our body, and the master of them, it's what? Pituitary gland. It is very important one, very small one below our brain to control all the glands. It makes messages to electric messages to all the glands to control all functions. Here, this one or this type of hormones, it's a type of proteins that found in our body that move in our blood with carried by red blood cells. So the red blood cells, it makes some kind of transfer inside the blood, inside blood vessels to move with the hormones directly to what? To any part of our body to make its function clearly. And the rest of these hormones, it moves away from blood by the effect of or function of liver So the liver here makes absorption of the rest of these hormones to make this function or this type of compound that change it into toxic materials. It's formed inside what? Inside the liver. So the liver, it's very important part. It is the most gland in our body. So here we have another type of question. Define the following. So number one is hormone. What's meant by hormone? It's the chemical substance or messages that control the most of the vital process in human body. It makes many kind of vital process that made by this endocrine gland. Let's go to see another one. Endocrine glands. So endocrine glands, it means they are ductless gland that hormones directly in the blood without passing through ducts. We have no ducts in this gland. Makes what? It makes production of these hormones directly to the blood without any ducts that found directly to the blood vessels. So we have another one of this one. We have defined the first law of Mendel. First law of Mendel, it's about unit 3. So this is if two individuals of living organism mate to each other, each one of them has one trait. The first generation has 100% dominant trait. So the first law of Mendel, if two individuals of any living organism mate to each other, it makes a mating between each other. So each one of them has one trait. So the first generation has 100% dominant trait. After that, dominant trait, what's meant by this? It is a hereditary trait that appears in the first generation as 100% and appears the second generation as 75%. It's found, dominant trait is found in the first generation as 100% and in the second generation 75%. Let's go to see another one of this definition. Recessive trait. Recessive trait, it means it is the opposite of dominant trait. It's hereditary trait that appears in the first generation as 0%. It is not found in the first generation. It doesn't appear in the first generation and appears in the second generation as 25%, as it is a pure trait. So this is a pure trait. It is one type of the recessive trait. It is pure because they are found in small letters. Let's go to see another one of this type of questions. We have problems. It's very important to know these problems about unit 3. So here you have two plants of pea plants. The first one has yellow color seeds and the second one has green seeds. What happened after that? We have here show by drawing the trait of the first and second generation of these two plants if they are mating. What's happened in the first and second generation? Let's go to see. First of all, we have pure yellow seed. It has what? It has the mating between pure green seeds. Which one of them is dominant? This is yellow. So the parents here, it takes the symbol of Y capital, don't forget this, because it is pure. And we have the second one, it is Y small because it is pure also. But here is small because it is a recessive one. So generation or the gametes. Gametes, it means pulling grains or ovum. So the pulling grains here, it's Y and Y. Y capital and Y capital. This is divided into two parts. And the last part, we have Y small and Y small. After that, we have mating between them. The first one of the probability between them in the first generation F1 Y capital with Y small, and the second one Y capital also and Y small the second one, and here we have Y capital Y small and Y capital Y small. So we have four new individuals in the first generation Y capital Y small. It means 100% hybrid dominant trait. Hybrid, it means mixed between capital letter and small letter. So 100% dominant trait, hybrid dominant trait. Let's go to see the second generation here in the same one. So the green seeds, pure green seeds, and here we have P capital or parents here Y capital Y small times what? Times Y capital Y small and we have the gametes also, Y capital as itself and Y small as itself. Here we have the Y capital and Y small in the second one. So the probability first one or first generation here, or this is second generation, we have Y capital Y small and Y capital Y capital. It's appear this new one that appear, and we have Y capital Y small and the last one Y small Y small. So here this is 75% dominant, 25% recessive. It's very important to know these parts about what? About hereditary traits, about the first Mendel's law and second law of Mendel. Another one of this problem, you have two plants, and the pea plant first one has yellow color seed and the second one has green seed. What's happened here? If I have shown by drawing the traits of the first generation of these two plants, if they are mating, I need the first generation pure yellow seed. It takes what? It takes this shape, Y capital Y small, and the green, it's Y small Y small. So here this is what? This is Y capital Y small as gametes, and the second one we have Y small Y small. So we have here 3 Y small. So it is what? It is very clear to us to make some kind of appearance of green seeds in large number. So here on the first one or first generation F1, we have Y capital Y small and Y capital Y small and Y capital, or here we have Y small and Y small Y small. So here 50% hybrid dominant traits. Why? Because here we have many gametes that found here as Y small. It's very important and very clear for us to make what? To make these problems in our exam. Dear friends, I hope to enjoy your time with us. This is the revision of Unit 3 and 4, and we will start our revision about general revision after this session. Till we meet again in the revision or revision of second term, till we meet again, thank you and goodbye everybody.